Welcome to the ninth video tutorial of this series. In previous video tutorial, we learned about lists and their uses. Now, in this video tutorial, we are going to learn about tuples and their uses. So, let's look into it. So first of all, I'll define a tuple over here. Before I start writing code, first of all, we'll understand what is tuple. So basically, tuple is a collection similar to the list, but the difference is that tuple is immutable. Immutable means we cannot change the value of a tuple, but we just have to read the value which is present in our tuple. So to define a tuple, first of all, I'll take a variable. So suppose I'm taking a variable my tuples equals to, and tuples are defined in a small bracket. So we will pass the values over here. So the values, suppose I'm taking value 10, 20, 30, 40. So the basic reason why tuple has been introduced in Python is because if we have to define a set of values which are need to be constants throughout the program, so that values those values can be defined in a tuple so that nobody can change the value of it. So the tuples are defined in a small brackets like this. This is the first tuple which I have defined with the my tuple variable name. Now the operation which we can perform on tuples are how we can read a specific value from a tuple. So to read the value, we will write my tuples, and similarly as we are doing in case of string, in case of list, to access a particular value. So what we were doing, we were passing a index over here in this bracket. So this gives the value whichever is present on index 0. So in this case, the value present in this index is 10, and in case we pass 1, it will give a value 20 which is present at index 1. Now if I try to print it, let's see the output. To run this file, similarly we have to write py, and the file name is tuples.py. So I run this file and I can see that the output is 20. So you can read the value from tuple, but you cannot modify it. Similarly, as we already know that to get a subtuple from this whole subtuple, suppose I have one more value 50 over here. So I want to get 20, 30 and 40 as a subtuple. So to do that, what we have to do, we have to pass one more parameter over here like this. So this will be the starting index and the second will be the end index. So in this case, the starting index is inclusive, but end index is exclusive, as in the case of list and string both. So now I want 20, 30, 40 as an output. So what I'll do, I will give the index of 20. So the index of 20 is, if you see, 0 and 1. So I'll give the index of 20 which is 1 over here, and I will give index of 40 plus 1 because the end index is exclusive. So we have to give the index after 40. So the index of 40 is 0, 1, 2, 3. 3 is the index of 40, but I want 40 into my subtuple, so I'll give 4 as an end index. The index of 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the index of 5. Now if I run this, so I can see that the output is 20, 30, 40, which we were expecting before we run this file. So 20, 30, 40 is the output. Similarly, if you want whole tuple from starting, but we want to specify the end index, so you can specify the end index only. In this case, the output will be 10, 20, 30 and 40 because we have not specified the starting index. So it will take the index as 0. Let's run this file again and let's see the output, and you can see that the output is 10, 20, 30, 40, and it has included from 0 index. Similarly, in case you do not want to specify the end index, that means you want the list till end, but you want to define some starting index. Suppose in this case we want then this subtuple to be the value 20, 30, 40 and 50. So I'll give 1 as a first index and I'll leave the last index empty. So if I run this file again, I can see that the list is started from one index and it has all the elements till end. So this way we can get the element from tuple on the basis of whether we want a subtuple or an specific element from that tuple. So we'll move to next step now. So next step will be how we can change the value of a tuple. So as I already have told you that we cannot change the value of tuple because it is immutable. So let's try to changing value of it and let's see what will happen. So to change the value, I'll write my tuples and I'll try to change the value of second index and I'll write 2 over here to change the value of second index, and I want to assign a value 100 at the index of 2. So the index of 2 is means 30. At the place of 30 I want to change the value to 100, and let's try to print it and let's see what it will give us, or we will not print it. First let's replace the value only. So if I'll run this file and let's see what happens. So definitely we'll get an error, as I already have told you that we cannot change the value of a tuple, and the error is tuple object does not support item assignment, obviously because we cannot change value of any tuple. So this type of error you will get if you will try to change the value of a tuple now. But there is one workaround of it. If you want to change the value of a tuple, you can do that by converting a tuple into list first, and then again the new list whatever you will have, that you can convert into a tuple. So let's see how we can do that. So first of all I'll define a list over here and I'll give the name of a list like my list, and I want to convert this list into this tuple into list. So to convert any tuple into list, you have to write you have to call the constructor of list, and you have to pass the value over here. So now if I print it, if I print my list over here, so I'll definitely get a list containing value 10, 20, 30, 40 and 50, and here we go, and we can see that the output is 10, 20, 30, 40 as we had expected. Now I'll try to change the value of a list. So to change the value, as you already know that you can change with the help of, so I will change the value 30 of a list. So the 30 index is 2, and I'll try to assign a value 100 over here, as I was trying to do in case of tuple, but we were unable because assignment operator was not supported into tuple because we cannot change the value of a tuple. Now I'll try to print my list and I will check whether the second index has been changed. That means the 30 value has been changed with 100 or not. So let's run this file and let's see, and definitely you can see that the value 30, which is at present at second index, has been changed with the new value 100. So this way we can change the value of a list. Now I will convert this list into tuple, and I'll take a new tuple, new variable, and I'll give new tuples equals to, and to convert a list into tuples, similarly what we have to do, we have to call the constructor of tuples, which we have called here. So whenever we want to call the constructor, we have to call it like this, or if we want to call the constructor of list, we have to call it like this. So now we call the constructor of tuples and we have to pass our list over here, so that now this list will be converted into a tuple, and the new name of new tuple is new tuples. So I'll print this value now, and I will try to see whether my tuples value has been changed or not. So what we are expecting to get an result 10, 20, and since we have changed second index, so here it will be 100. So 10, 20, 100, 40 and 50, and that is as an tuple. Let's run this file, let's see the output, and again we can see that we got an error, and the error is name tuples is not defined. Okay, tuples is not defined, so definitely it should not be tuples but tuple. So if we run this file, you can see that now the value is 10, 20, 100, 40, 50. So this way you can change the value of a tuple. So first of all you have to convert it into a list, and then that value we can change the list, and the new list can be converted again into tuple. Now this has been done. The next thing, which we can do is that to delete particular value in a tuple. So definitely deleting a particular value will not be possible in tuples because tuples are immutable, but we can delete the whole tuple with the help of delete keyword, del keyword. We can delete the whole tuple. So we can write del and tuple name, or yes, the variable name. So this way we can delete a tuple. Now we want to print the value, all the values which are present inside a tuple. So similarly as in the case of list or in the case of a string. So in earlier video tutorial we learned how we can print all the values of a list. So to do that we have to definitely apply a for loop over here, and we'll take a value like this. So the syntax is for x in my tuples. So if there would have been a list, so we would have written a list over here, but in this case we have a tuple, so we have written the name of the tuple for x in tuples. So it will apply a for loop from 0 index till n, and it will assign one by one value into x variable. So first time when the loop will execute, the value of x will be 10, second time value will be 20, and similarly third time the value will be 30, and at the end the value will be 40. So we just need to print the x value, because every time the value, the elements present in my tuples are assigning into a variable x. So now let's run this program and let's see the output. And once we run this program, we can see the output as all the elements whichever is present in our list, 10, 20, 30 and 40. So this way we can write a for loop, or we can display all the elements which are present in a tuple. If you have any doubt in tuples, you can write it into the comment section. So now the next step we are going to learn to check whether a particular element present in our tuple or not. So similarly we already know that we have to write if x in my tuples, name of the tuple or name of the list, whatever is here. So we'll write if x in tuples, but this x is not defined over here, so we can write 10, 20, 30. So if you want to check whether 10 present in our tuples or not, so this way we can write if 10 in tuples, then we want to print, what do we want to print? That element present. So now let's run this program and let's see the output, and definitely we are expecting to get an output as element present. So let's run it and let's see. So as soon as I run it, I can see that element present is our result. So in case I write 50 over here, then also again I'll get this output, because 50 also present in our tuple. So we got an answer, element present. Now I'll clear the console and let's change it to 200 or 100, and we already know that 100 does not present in our tuple. So in this case we are expecting to get nothing as an output. So if we run this program, and you can see that we did not get this as an output because 100 does not present in our tuple. So this way you can perform different operations over tuple to get the value from a tuple, to get a sub tuple, to iterate the elements of a tuple, and to identify or to check whether any particular element present in our tuple or not.